Welcome to Watch Me Go Broke. Now, how many of you out there have made a drunken purchase? I know I have. It's 2 or 3 o'clock in the morning and then you're on eBay and you're scrolling through and you're like, hey, boy, that watch looks pretty good and the price is just amazing. Buy it now. Well, we've all been there, and that's kind of what this watch is today. Did I make a mistake, or is it a hidden treasure? Let's awkwardly bend over a table and take a look. Okay guys, is it trash or is it treasure? On my wrist today is my wonky SMP. I love this watch and it is definitely a treasure. So this is another watch in the Pagani Design lineup. You've got a 44mm case, a thickness of 15.5 with the Cyclops, a 21mm lug width that tapers down to 20 at the clasp, and a lug to lug of 50mm, so a pretty substantial watch today. All applied indices today with some chrome polish all along them, a horizontal striped dial, and a Cyclops at the 3 o'clock date position. The bezel insert appears to be ceramic, and this is going to be a 90 click bezel. 90 clicks. The action on it is pretty cheap. I guess what you'd expect at this price point. And there is a substantial amount of back play. That is really almost probably 2 to 3, maybe even 4mm of back play on the bezel. You've got Pagani Design on the dial with their logo at the 12 o'clock position. And just above the 6 o'clock position is going to be automatic. The case back is actually a decent one, sporting stainless steel, water resistant of 30 meters. My goodness. Wow, what a great job they did with that. Pagani Design Sport with the logo, and the reference number is PD1617. The bracelet is going to be 316L stainless steel. It does appear to be hollow end links, or I believe it is. I might have to pop that off to take a look. With a half link. The bracelet is stainless steel with a scissor clasp, and that was a nice touch at this price point, with the Pagani Design logo on the clasp. This is going to be a friction pin bracelet, which I am totally fine with. Very easy to size. Glass is going to be a what they call a scratch-proof mineral crystal. I don't know how accurate that is, but it's certainly not sapphire, and it's certainly not hardlex, so not sure how that will hold up over time. My guess is not super great. So as best I can surmise, this watch is powered by the DG2813, which is an automatic movement. In fact, one of the cheapest automatic movements that you can get, retailing for about $20 on the low end. It does have 21,600 vibrations per hour. It does hack and it does hand wind. The handset is actually pretty well done for the price of this watch, if I can get a good shot of it with no anti-reflective coating. I really like the seconds hand. That's neat with the yellow pop of color. I think it does a good job at giving this watch a little bit of flair. Now, unscrewing the crown, there is quite a bit of grittiness and a clicking noise, and that would lead me to believe you are rubbing something on the inside of the movement, and that really probably isn't good. The hand winding position, I don't know if you can hear that. It is very, very gritty, very gritty. Very rough feeling. It feels like it does not want you to do that, even though it is a hand-winding movement. Moving the watch to the time setting position, it does hack, and you are able to set the time, and the date does roll over at 12 o'clock. And in the second position, you can change the date. And it does not appear that the date lines up quite in the date window, and that is a little bit disappointing. Getting the crown to engage, or the crown stem to engage this watch after you've set the time, it doesn't always do it, and I'm going to try to do it one time and see if I can. Okay, obviously it worked that time. The DG2813 is a little finicky when it comes to setting the time. Sometimes the hands will jump into a different position. That has happened to me a couple of times with this watch. Screwing down the crown, it's fairly easy to screw down once you get it to engage, and I have yet to get it to engage. There we go. No, I still didn't do it. So the crown is a little bit of a challenge to get to screw down. You actually have to press very hard to get that down. Okay, there we go. Got it down there. But it is very gritty. It doesn't feel smooth. Really poor quality. Now, as I said, I bought this watch in a drunken stupor on eBay, which I am prone to do this time of year. It's the most depressing time of the year. It's after the holidays. It's January. Ugh. January, February, March. Yikes. Those are terrible months. And you got Valentine's Day coming up, so you have to buy an additional gift for somebody, or some chocolates or something like that, even though the holidays are supposed to be over. I wish they gave us a break on that. Like, just give us like 6 months. We don't have to buy anybody anything, because everybody has a birthday you're already gonna buy for them. And if their birthday is in January, my wife's birthday is in January. I mean, you're gonna buy something for them, and then you gotta turn around and buy something for Valentine's Day. It's just, man, Hallmark has just really just taken control of our lives. So what do I like about this watch? Well, I like the look of it. I don't really have a lot of experience with Tag Heuer watches, so I can't say if this is a good and faithful homage. There are probably far more qualified people that can do that, but I do like the look of it. And I do like the bracelet. I think the bracelet seems to be of pretty good quality at this price point. And I am a fan, actually, of this double pusher scissor clasp. It's not terrible quality for this price. I don't know how it will hold up over time. A little bit of wiggle there, but doesn't seem like anything that's out of control or something that's not solid. So I'm afraid today there are far more things that I don't like about this watch than there are things that I like. What do I not like? Well, this bezel is pretty much trash. The lume pip, it's poorly done. It doesn't look good to me. It looks cheap. It feels cheap. Even the color of the ceramic, it doesn't really match the dark blue that's on the dial. It looks cheap. It looks like something off a fake Omega Seamaster that they just tried to chunk in there and cut. That's what it looks like to me. So the movement on this watch, I actually have a lot of experience with the DG2813. It's my movement that I generally will put in experimental watches before I switch out the movement to something better, just so I can kind of see if I like the design I did. So I am very familiar with this, and while the watch does surprisingly keep accurate time, it is very, very easy to break this movement. If you try to set the date in the AM position, or I'm sorry, in the PM position, you will break it, and it will not line up in the window. You will never be able to get that back. It's no saving that. It is hands down an inevitability with that. And the fact that it's just so finicky to engage. I mean, getting a correct hack is virtually impossible with this, because the hands will jump around on you, and it's just not a very good movement for like setting things accurately, but it does keep accurate time. Some of the most accurate watches I have are with this movement. It's just cheap, and I just don't think it's gonna last over time. I'm really not a fan of this half link they did. I think they've got this wrong on the, it's on the wrong side of the lug. I understand why they did it, so the bracelet will lay flat, and that's pretty cool. But I would have rather seen the half link come out here, and then you just, like, this is connected to the actual end link, and then you just do a half there and have it do that, instead of this, which makes a weird little jut out. Yeah, I don't know. I just don't think it looks as clean as it could. Not really a huge fan of the mineral crystal. I think it would have been nice to have sapphire, but of course at this price point, you can't really complain. One of the major things that I don't like is the Cyclops. It almost does nothing, like virtually no magnification. And I understand supposedly the original Tag Heuer watch does have a Cyclops, but just you gotta do it up. I mean, you gotta do it at least 2.5 times. This is useless. I don't know why it would even be there. I could see a lot of guys just taking a butane lighter to this and popping it off for sure. The finishing on the watch is okay. I mean, the polish isn't super great on the sides, and the brushing is reasonable. Like I said, I did like the bracelet. So I might take this bracelet off and use it on another watch, although with the 21 millimeter links, it's going to be hard to find a watch that this will fit. But, maybe I'll try to stick it on a Flightmaster. I wonder if that would work. Let me see here if I can just humor myself for a second. It's possible it might work on a Flightmaster. Most likely not, because the Flightmaster spring bars are so close to the case. But those actually do appear to be fairly close to the case there, so maybe it will. And this would be an awesome bracelet on the Flightmaster. Holy crap. I'm going to try that. And there it is on my 7¼ inch wrist. It does wear big with the 50 millimeter lugs, and it is 15.5 thick with the Cyclops. So, I don't know, guys. $60, which I think is what I paid for this. Is it worth $60? Probably. Can you find something better for slightly more? Yes. Would I recommend you buy this in a drunken stupor? No, probably not. There are other things in the Pagani Design that you can check out. But anyway, I mean, it's an interesting looking watch, but not something I would probably wear very often at all. Well, there you go, another Pagani Design watch. I don't think I can recommend this watch, as there are several others in the Pagani lineup that I think you'll find more appealing at about the same price. So until next time, I'm gonna kind of stay off eBay if I've had a few too many, and I think you should too. I'll see you in the next video.